incorporator of Hands Across New Jersey, the largest tax protest group in the state, I managed to get down to his first location. It was Pete's Deli in Hamilton Township. Now, they had arranged for the entire syndicated media to be there. ABC was there, CBS, NBC, CNN, 150 reporters. And I sat down with Jim Florio and his wife at the table to have lunch for 45 minutes. We talked. Every network camera was hovered in over our heads. 150 reporters with handheld recorders going, shoved in all around the table.
And you were a top Security and Exchange...
commodity trading advisor.
Yeah, commodity trading, big company up there doing a national deal. You took the challenge, a local talk show host, to talk about abuse, found out that the budget isn't 1/10 of the story. You've had this big rally, 115,000 people downtown. You're starting to learn about this stuff, and you're sitting there talking to the governor.
It's the governor, his wife, and myself, with every single reporter and every single camera trained on us. And I used this one example. I said, Governor Florio, myself as a financial advisor, if I had a stock issuance and I sold 100% of the stock in my company, and I made a $10 million profit this year, and I disclosed to my shareholders I made a $1 million profit, number one, that's misrepresentation. Number two, it's fraud. Number three, I'd be in jail. I said the state of New Jersey is conducting business as usual, doing the exact same thing, and they've enacted statutes to allow them to do what would be totally illegal for a public corporation to do. Now, I thought he'd try to skate around a response to that and go off in a different area. All the reporters are sitting there up on their toes going, ooh, 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 ooh. And Florio's response, I did not believe it. He looked back at me and said, I know. I've been trying to do something about that. They never let him out in public again. They canceled his entire tour, and not one word in the media.
Now, I've called around. The media gets the county, the city, the state, the federal. The newspaper, the Statesman here in town, every year gets a stack of these from around the country.
And they have for 25 years.
Why would the major networks and the major newspapers, why do they want these? Why do they get these, but don't tell us about them?
Because they are in 100% partnership with the game. When I learned this 10 years ago, that was my question. I was a commodity trading advisor, did a national news line, right in the middle of New York, in the hub of things. I never once heard of the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, and I said to myself, why did I not hear it on a TV show, the evening news, a talk show? Zilch, nothing. And here is the Holy Grail, the Bible of accounting for government. My first step was I called the mailroom of the Department of Treasury to find out who it was sent to. I found out it was sent to every dean of every college. It was sent to every editor up and down the East Coast. It was sent to the CEO and every one of the directors from ABC, CBS, NBC. Now I'm starting to get mad. I then found out who it was sent to for ABC and NBC. I called their departments, and the conversation went just like this. Hi, this is Walter Buring calling from the Department of Treasury in New Jersey. We've been sending you our comprehensive annual financial report for the last 14 years. How many other states are sending you their report? And ABC was getting it from 38 states. NBC was getting it from 36 states. Now I'm getting mad. I'm starting to see a cooperative effort for non-disclosure. I then asked myself the next logical question. How much is the syndicated media making from composite government sources? Up front you would think of, federal grants, public education grants for media broadcasting, service commercials, city, county, state, federal. That was a substantial portion of the syndicated media's income. But then, realizing that composite government funds own the primary shares of major Fortune 500 companies, such as Xerox, over 78%, Motorola in the 60s, IBM, AT&T. They own that stock, and through the proxy votes, through the investment managers, they can exercise demands over those corporations on who to use on the marketing campaigns and the advertising. So they can direct more money to the syndicated media.
And this is why when we watch ABC, CBS, NBC, they have the same story with the same talking head looking the same, with the same advertisers in the exact same order every night. because they give us 3 different brands of the same slavery. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not speculation. I have in my hot little hands the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report for Texas for 1999. Now, Walter, you, almost a year ago, when we first talked live on the radio, and you've talked about 40 million people since you got in your disclosure. I'm going to go through all of that, bringing all this forward. You said get comprehensive annual financial reports from 98 and before, because you said that now, because of your disclosure, they are starting to even try to water those down. My 98 one clearly says $435 billion surplus. That is just the cream off the profits of their investments, not even all their investments. And now it's only got 60-something billion. Now, I went and checked out what you said. You said it a year ago. You said it today on the radio. You said that the 99 reports that were coming out.
Take a look at 96.
Well, the point is, they're on to what you're doing. They're on to the fact that you're on to them, that people are waking up. How are they manipulating the reports? I mean, they say we have a little surplus now in Texas, $4 billion. They said it was 6.9 back in 98. But still, it's, 60-something.
Look at 96's report, and you'll see they listed the transactions they handled for local government.
Well, that's my point. This book has gotten smaller. This book isn't as lavish, and you've been talking about that. How are they manipulating the comprehensive annual financial reports because the news is starting to get out? How are they now cooking these books too?
When I came up with disclosure, originally 99 and prior, it was required to show all investment revenue, all income coming in from all sources in the combined financial columns. As of 99, they changed it to showing all investments revenue, all income, all revenue coming in necessary to meet obligations. There's a big difference.
So that's like saying, again, back to a budgetary manipulation. I need $500 a week to run my household, so I make my budget $500, and everybody focused on the $500 when I'm really making $2,000 a week, hypothetically, and then people get wise. My wife gets wise, and I'm really making all these thousands of dollars I'm not telling her about. So I go, it's all right, honey. Here are those books. See? And then I only show her enough of the money, enough of the surplus to say, oh, I just had this in reserve in case I needed it.
I'll give you a key example from 10 years ago. As I mentioned, education is included in this game. Now, in the New Jersey's Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, it showed consolidation of the state universities and colleges under one financial column. I noticed right off the bat they had $8.5 billion in liquid investment funds. It showed that they made a $1.1 billion profit on their investment funds, for the year, bringing up their total to $9.6 billion. Are you with me?
Yes.
My next question in logical progression was, I wonder what the total tuitions are paid by all students attending college and universities in New Jersey. That was listed also, $644 million. So right off the bat, I said to myself, they made a $1.1 billion profit on their investment funds. The total tuition base for all students was $644 million. I said the kids could have gone to school for free for the year and gotten paid to go to college. Now, what actually happened that year was they cited a shortfall of budgetary revenue and had a 7% tuition increase. This is back in 1989.
Now, that's just with a university running a scam. Let's talk about some of the smaller examples. You used a case in a small county where you live in Arizona now. Tell us about that.
An example regarding...
the health care.
Oh, that was in Tucson, Arizona, Pima County. A couple years back, the health care program, citing a shortfall of operating funds, said that they're going to have to cut back on services and turn away people unless